Where's my Pikachu? Where's my Pikachu? Pika? Pika? I don't know where my Pikachu is. Alright, so I'm here. How are you? My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks so much for tuning in, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. And one of these days, I'm going to get this thing right. Today, we have a fuck ton of clips for you. Apparently, neck restraints are allowed in Minnesota. So you know. And Craig's working on some live feeds for us so that we have, if there's anything going on, he's watching the live feeds. If there's protest activity, we will get that tuned in for you real quick, because I know that a lot of you are very concerned about the protest, and that's partially what it is that we want to talk about here. You know, we want to talk about the people, you know, and I had Tucker Carlson clip from tonight where he just shows the protesters as rioters, you know, as like the worst kind of rioters, and looters and such. And I'm telling you, when I look at the protesters, what I see is mothers and their children, and I see a lot of other people that are there trying to speak out, you know, trying to do the right thing. And for whatever reason, you know, the Tucker Carlson wants to act like those people are evil. You know, I mean, again, I've said again and again, you have to support the protesters. And again, it's so understandable why a lot of these people are angry. And in the midst of a plague, why they might be desperate for whatever they can get their hands on, right? So, you know, I'm not trying to cut looters slack. I am not. It's something I can't imagine myself doing, you know, unless, of course, it's the zombie apocalypse and, you know, there might be food in that store and I could really use a bite to eat. But it's not the zombie apocalypse, and I can't imagine myself doing the looting. So I understand the outrage at seeing those videos, and those videos are very powerful. But the truth is, the vast majority of protesters are like me. They can't see themselves ever doing something like that. They don't have the slightest interest in doing something like that. And Craig saying that he saw something where there was like an agent provocateur, a Minneapolis cop was in amongst the protesters and starting some of the looting and shit. So we're clear, okay? This isn't all this shit that's going down is it seems to be very planned. You know, I mean, there's just a fuck ton of shit that's just not right with what's happening here. You know, I mean, those people just stood around and watched that guy get murdered. Those cops, they didn't just stand there and watch. They protected that cop while he murdered George Floyd. Okay, and I don't know who George Floyd was, but what I know is he was on the ground. He was in handcuffs, and there's absolutely no reason that he should have been murdered, which is what happened, because he was on the ground and in handcuffs. It means not a threat to a single fucking person, certainly not heavily armed motherfucking piece of shit cops. Okay, so that cop murdered that George Floyd. He did it intentionally. He did it with malice. He deserves to be charged with murder and put in jail immediately. You know, This is beyond ridiculous, and the FBI and all the fucking other agencies that are coming in, you can tell this is all about fucking whitewashing shit. Oh, we need to get all the videos. If you people have any videos, really, if you have any evidence that we can throw away forever, make sure and give it to us, because we need those evidence. We need those videos. You know. Oh, meanwhile, they're saying, well, there's evidence that there was no crime committed by the cops, right? So basically, they have the right to murder you. Craig, are you getting me a live feed or not? Okay, because I'm seeing cops on roofs and fucking tear gas and shit, and I'd like to share that with people. And we will be sharing it with you momentarily. Okay, so I'm gonna play this clip where they say that neck restraints are apparently allowed by police officers in Minnesota. Although I have another clip that says that that technique was not taught, nor is it approved.
And Sarah Seidner is in Minneapolis for us. And Sarah, protests are continuing where you are, as they have been since Mr. Floyd was killed.
That's right, going on more than 48 hours. Just giving you a look at the scene. So you're looking at the pictures. This is what first started burning. We were here when this caught fire and started billowing. Now it's just a shell of itself. If you just turn here, just to give you an idea where everything is, this is the Target and the Cub Foods. Last night, that turned into a free-for-all where people were just going into those stores and taking out whatever they could. And then this is the 3rd Precinct. Police department, where most of people's ire is pointed towards. And again, you will notice a difference from yesterday when we were standing right here. What you will see now is they have put up barricades, they've put up fences. You will notice the damage done to the police department, which is why you see those fences and barricades. The police and protesters are facing off, and we'll go a little bit closer here, facing off yet again. Where protesters are out here. And look, for most of the day, and you saw this, Jake, there were peaceful protests. Then the water bottle started, the rock started, then there was tear gas and flashbangs and rubber bullets that were fired in response. And then eventually police tried to push everyone out of this area. They managed to push everyone out and down that street, and then eventually retreated. And that is when things got really, really out of control. Things started burning, people started looting. Now they're back today. But they want to be sure that people understand where this is all coming from. And it's coming from a deep, deep sense of pain and frustration that they have, especially seeing this video. But it isn't just about the video, and it isn't just about George Floyd. It's about a series of things that people in this particular area, in this neighborhood, mostly black and brown people, feel that they are treated differently by police than other people, that they are discriminated against, that they are brutalized. And so the reaction to that has been this. How long this is going to last, we don't know. But it certainly has been a very, very strong reaction. We were here for many of the other incidents that got people into this sort of frenzy and anger, from Jamar Clark to Philando Castile, all dying in police incidents, to George Floyd. And you will hear that repeated over and over and over again here in Minneapolis. It isn't just about this one incident, although looking at that video has people stunned, shocked. And you're just hearing that is, I think, a rubber bullet that has just been fired. Police are positioned on top of the 3rd Precinct again today. You see them holding those. They have bean bags. They're sometimes shooting rubber bullets, which we have picked up, and those really sting. We've seen people being hit by those. But when they see something thrown toward the department, they usually try to pick out the person that throws something towards the department, and then they start pointing their non-lethal weapons at them, and every now and then firing. So that's the situation right now, Jake, and we'll keep an eye on it for you as the day goes along.
All right, Sarah Seidner in Minneapolis. Stay safe.
All right, Craig got us a live feed from Denver, and he is looking around to see what else we can find. So we got that going for us, which is good. Thank you, Craig. And I still have a fuck ton of other videos. This is a live call-in show. So if you have something you'd like to say about the protest, about George Floyd, about whatever it is that you'd like to talk about, a major free speech platform. It's what we do. It's what we want to do. It's what we're trying to defeat fucking YouTube at, you know? So, I have a bunch of videos. I have a video about Donald Trump and doing an executive order about social media, right? And this is what I've always said about the problem with Donald Trump, okay? Is that he doesn't give a fuck about fake news. He's fine with fake news unless it's about him. If it's about him, he doesn't give a fuck with social media censoring people forever. You know, he could have stepped up when Alex Jones got fucking censored, like I did, like a bunch of other people did, and say, "What the fuck are you doing?" I don't even like Alex Jones, but you know, censor. You know, freedom of speech isn't about protecting fucking language that we all love. Freedom of speech is about protecting language that maybe people don't appreciate, like cops or Israel. Donald Trump or Donald fucking Trump. Donald Trump doesn't care. You know, Donald Trump says, "Oh, you can't say what you want to say about Israel, or you're going to go on a government list." But the second he's censored, he's like, "Oh, wait. And he didn't even get censored. He just got put fake news label on his fucking, or little fact check button on his fucking tweet. And he goes, I gotta sign an executive order immediately. Because everything in the fucking world is about him. Why didn't he do it when it happened? When all the goddamn piece of shit social media cunts conspired, which is a legal term, they conspired against fucking Alex Jones to silence his free speech voice. Where was Donald Trump then? Sitting around whining on Twitter? I don't fucking care. He certainly wasn't standing up for freedom of speech. Where was he when fucking bullshit Congress passed bullshit fucking laws about BDS? About how you can't say what you want about boycott, divest, and sanction Israel on your social media, or you go on a motherfucking list. Where was Donald Trump then? Oh, he was the one who signed that into law. That's where he was. So don't even for one fucking second believe Donald Trump gives a shit about your free speech or anybody else's other than himself. He is all that matters ever. I just want to make sure I got that out. So let's just call another fucking hypocrite out here, Don motherfucking Lemon, who says liberty is not just for white people. I want to play this clip. Don Lemon, who you know, says liberty is not just for white people. You know, he talks about how, oh, remember when you wanted liberty not to wear a mask? Remember when you want liberty to do this? When you want liberty to do that? Well, then why don't you support the liberty of those protesters? Don Lemon, did you support the liberty of those protesters that were doing that in Michigan? Did you make it so that you stood up and said, hey, those people have the right to do that. We should support them in their proud right. Like I do with all the motherfucking protesters, you phony piece of shit. You think Don Lemon wouldn't call the motherfucking cops on an African-American man in a heartbeat? Because he will and has. And we all know that's the fucking facts. Okay, so he wants to act like he's one of you, but he doesn't give a shit about anybody except for Don Lemon, and don't you fucking forget it for 2 goddamn seconds.
These people are fighting for their liberty. So if you can understand wanting a haircut, not wanting to wear a mask, wanting to go in a store and be able to cough on anyone, wanting to wear, in one instance, a Klan hood to a grocery store because you thought that was your mask to protect people from the coronavirus because you were so upset that you couldn't go to the store without a mask, then you should understand these people who are frustrated, and who are protesting on the streets of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and in other parts of this country, because they are fighting as an American just like you for their liberty. Liberty is not just for white people. It is for black people. It is for Asian people. It is for all Americans, Hispanic, black, white, brown, yellow, all of us. It is for all Americans. So if you're going to fight for your liberty, fight for these people's liberty as well.
I don't know, Don, if you can see what's going on in Minneapolis right now.
This is about what happens in America every single day. This is the tough part, the bold part, the big part that you're seeing, that everyone cringes at seeing a knee on someone's neck. But the knee is on our neck as black people, and I mean our. Doesn't matter what socioeconomic status, stratosphere, whatever you get in. It is always on your neck. And so I want all people out there, I don't care if you're good or bad white people, I'm speaking directly to you. Help us stop this. Stop judging. Stop looking for other reasons. Stop making excuses. Stop ignoring racism in your own life. Teach your children to be, as Bakari said, anti-racists and not racists. Examine yourself so that you can help us. Help me, help you, help us. Please. That's my message.
All right, and what is this we're looking at, Craig? Okay. More fire in Minneapolis tonight. So, you know, we're looking at that live here now. And let's see, what else do we have? And we have more clips. And again, I just want to point out, you know, Don Lemon wants you to support these people. Now he wants you to support people. Now he wants you to support protesters, right? Again and again and again, I've told you support the protesters. People come out here and they say, oh, right-wing protesters. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, right-wing? I see Americans, okay? And you know, and there's a reason that these people are so motherfucking angry. And it's a very, very good reason. And it's not just because of George Floyd, which is plenty good reason. It's not just because of George. Okay? It's because this shit's been going on forever. And it's just completely unacceptable. And there seems to be zero change happening, right? Like they could care less that there's all this garbage happening to us, to the people. You know, they can't wait to fucking tear gas the people, to fucking drop their fucking black ball grenades on them. You know, those fucking shit blind people and give people horrible wounds all the time. And I really hope that some of them fucking cops lose a hand fucking with one of those things. That would be awesome, because then they'd have to stop using them. You know, because people lose eyes, okay? And I'm sure other parts of their bodies from all this fucking shit. You know, when they shoot the damn tear gas on people, hey Boober, when they shoot the damn tear gas on people, that's a war crime. You notice they don't use tear gas in Afghanistan. You notice they don't use tear gas in Iraq. In war theaters, they don't use that. You know why? Because it's a chemical weapon, and they would be accused of committing a war crime. Okay? But it's okay to do it on American citizens, apparently. Right? Cops, piece of shit cops. Hello, caller!
Michael,
Peter, how are you tonight?
What's up, Michael, my brother?
I am doing this thing that I do. What about you? What's up with you?
Just chilling, watching your fine program, watching the fine live stream here. What a situation, huh? What a situation.
It's not something new. It's just something that the government refuses to do anything about. This has happened again and again and again, and the government refuses to change a fucking thing.
Yeah, that's what I said about this to Craig. This kind of shit happens all the time. You know, this instance is a particularly big deal for some reason. I don't know why.
What do you mean about this instance? What do you mean by that?
Cops killing black people for reasons that are, a bit
Well,
extreme.
have you seen the whole video, right?
I've seen the footage that's out there. I saw him. I heard that he was counterfeiting a $20 bill or some shit, and then I saw cops taking him out. And then next thing I know, the guy's got his fucking knee on his neck, and then he's dead.
Yeah. Well,
Which, by the way, is a very common police practice, Mike. I've had a cop do the same thing to me. A fucking like 250-pound lesbian cop had her fucking knee on my neck. And that shit was not pleasant. I mean,
no, I
that was
can't
like
imagine.
instant compliance right there. So yeah, the cops do that shit all the time.
But it's completely unacceptable what happened here. I mean, that man was begging for, begging. Number one, he wasn't resisting. Number two, he's handcuffed and on the ground, Pete. It's completely unnecessary. And I mean, literally, they murdered him in front of everyone while the other cops stood around and protected the cop that was murdering him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, what I agree with you. What I don't like is with a lot of these police videos, there's no context whatsoever. You see the beginning and the end, and you never see what led up to that fucking thing. The same thing with the Ahmaud Arbery thing. Everything is just, all of a sudden the guy's got. I'm not saying it was right what the guy fucking did, but obviously a little extreme. But yeah, I did deserve it, Steve. By the way, totally.
Well,
I got pepper sprayed 3 times. That shit was not fun.
Alcohol's a hell of a drug. But we've had that discussion many times, haven't we, Peter?
Absolutely.
This is insanity. The cops, when they kill someone, Pete, their names aren't even put on a list. They don't go, okay, this cop killed someone, we'll make sure to keep track of him in case he kills a bunch of more people. There's not even a federal list.
That's not true, Mike.
There's not a federal list. There is not a federal list keeping track of cops who kill people.
A lot of these guys get brought to justice, though, if there's a big enough story like this.
If they get caught on video, you mean?
Yeah. Like, this guy's not going to get away with this shit. Fuck no. I doubt it.
Well, I don't. What I see the fucking FBI and everybody rallying around the cop. Okay? And saying, well, we don't see any...
That's not what I see. That's not what I see in this video.
Yeah, well, this video shows not fucking FBI and not cops. It shows people, working class people, who are sick and tired of a fucking overly intrusive, violent police state.
That's what I wanted to say, Mike. Like, I don't think people are as upset about this case in particular as this kind of was an event that triggered people into action.
Right. It's not a matter of this case,
like you and I just said, this shit happens all the time. This story in particular just for some reason, maybe because of its coverage.
If you haven't watched, look, there's a 10-minute video of the man dying. Okay? If you haven't watched that, then go watch that and come back and call me again. Okay? Because otherwise what you're saying is, well, I don't understand why people are so upset. Well, if you watch that video, maybe you will. This is not acceptable, and people should be outraged. I mean, look, and it's not because of it's not because of Mr. Floyd. People are outraged because what's happened is, Tamar Rice, was a 12-year-old boy playing in a park, and cops zoomed their car up into the fucking park, 20 feet from him, and then shot him dead 2 seconds after getting out of their car. A 12-year-old boy playing in the park. And then they were found that they did nothing wrong. Okay, so I mean, this, it's not a matter of why people are so outraged now. It's a matter of this blowback thing. Before this started, I said, look, blowback is real. This is gonna get nasty. Yeah, you can only push the people so far. There was an 8-year-old girl, Aisha. I can't remember what her last name is, and she got murdered by Detroit cops who kicked in her front door and then shot her in the face. An 8-year-old girl. The cop said he thought she had a gun. Okay, and they were at the wrong house, by the way. And the cops lied about which cop shot her in the face. And they had fucking like a news crew following them, like a cops news crew. You know, Detroit police, 8-year-old kills 8-year-old girl. Type it in. Type it into Google. You'll find out. It's not just a matter of this man. Okay, and I'm tired of it. And the people are fucking. I mean, they were angry before this shit ever started. They're not treated.
That's exactly the point that I'm making. Like all this reaction we're seeing is not just because of this fucking dude.
Right. No, it's not just because of Mr. Floyd. But if you watch that video, you'll understand why the major reaction. If you're asking why the major reaction, you can see it if you watch that video. I mean, the man sat there.
Dude, I had a 250-pound lesbian cop put her fucking knee on my neck just like that for 10 minutes also.
Uh-huh. And I heard a story today where it said that black people are more inclined to choke out quicker than white people. So Pete.
I mean, okay.
I saw that today on the news. I'm not making it up. You can look it up too, I'm sure.
Why? Because black people don't have as many blood vessels in their head?
Because they have this. They seem to be more susceptible to all these things, right? Black, people of color are suffering worse from the COVID-19. All this shit. It goes on and on. They have higher rate of diabetes. They have higher blood pressure. It's endless. Higher rate of strokes.
Well, a lot of people are so outraged about the whole knee thing, and like people aren't aware. Like cops do that knee thing all the time. Like that's very, very common, and it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was under a very heavy female cop knee for about 10 minutes, just like this man was, and I didn't fucking move an inch. That shit was not comfortable. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, that's something that they do. It's not uncommon.
Well, they didn't have to pepper spray.
It's very dangerous.
It's a
very, very dangerous thing to do because
they didn't have to pepper spray this guy 3 times. Pete, they didn't have to pepper spray. This guy didn't have to be pepper sprayed 3 times to be on the ground in handcuffs. He simply followed instructions.
For counterfeiting a $20 bill, yeah, that's certainly pretty extreme. I urinated on a cop car, and I didn't get as bad punishment. Because I'm a white guy.
Well, it sounded like they tried.
I was pepper sprayed 3 times. That shit's no fun. You ever been pepper sprayed, dude?
No, I don't think I'm more afraid of pepper spray than I am the COVID-19.
Yeah, that shit's like if you doused your eyeballs in gasoline and then lit them on fire.
It's my lungs I'm really worried about.
Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, like you get sprayed in the eyes and then it hurts, but when you close your eyes, it doesn't hurt. Mm-hmm. But then when you open your eyes again and then you expose it to oxygen and then the oxidation happens, that's when it starts to really burn like the hells, Mike.
Yeah, I was eating a pizza one time, and I had those crushed red peppers that they put that you put on the pizza. I got one of those on my finger, and then I touched my eye, and it went on my eyeball. I literally went down on the fucking ground. It was like ah.
Oh yeah, you ever fucking touch your dick after eating fucking hot wings, then your fucking dick's on fire for an hour? It's not fun.
No, I think that might be related to something else, Pete. If your dick's on fire. Ah! My dick's on fire. No, I don't eat hot wings.
That's not right, bro. That's fine American cuisine.
I stick to boneless chicken.
Do you guys want to hear Steve? I think Steve wants to hear my pepper spray story.
Steve?
You guys want to hear my pepper spray story? I was at a party when I was 21 years old. I had just started drinking, and I was at a party, and I was about to leave with a girl that was going to have sex with me, and I was very excited. And then as I was pulling out of the party with the girl that I was going to have sex with, the police pulled in, which was bad, which was very bad for me. And then I started to get very angry.
Keeping you from having sex. What the fuck is their problem?
Yeah, so obviously me and a bunch of other cars are trying to leave, out of a series of 2 or 3, exits to the driveway. And the cops are blocking people off. I, of course, am belligerent, and I'm pulled out, questioned by the police, of course, continuing to be belligerent. I'm handcuffed. Before this even happened, and all of my friends, by the way, are hiding in the bushes around me, and I can hear them laughing and chuckling as the police are pulling me to the ground, and then they get the heaviest police officer to put her knee on my neck, which was very fun. And then I didn't actually get a DUI charge, which I was very lucky not to get because I was in my vehicle very drunk. But I was, for being so belligerent, the police officer put her knee on my neck. They put me in the back of the car. I continued to swear and belittle the police. I was pepper sprayed 3 times and then brought to the police station and charged with disorderly conduct. I actually had an ounce of marijuana, which was stolen from me at the party, so I didn't get charged with possession of marijuana, which was awesome. And that's pretty much the whole story. But if I was black, I bet you they may very well just have sat on my neck for 20 minutes and just snapped my neck completely. So that's that story.
Yeah, well, like I said, alcohol is a hell of a drug, and that's kind of why I gave up alcohol, Pete, because I was trying to impress this girl, and alcohol just really got in the fucking way.
Oh, Mike, I mean, that's just one of many times that's happened.
Yeah.
Not quite to that level, but yeah, I mean,
well, what's going on?
Alcohol and police, not a good combination.
So the sun come out where you are? It's getting warm there?
Bro, it is 80, 75 all day.
Dang.
But I'm not outside. I'm inside all day, working, in a laboratory. So it's a little depressing. I'm not gonna lie.
But you get to go out on the weekend.
Yeah, I do. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
But I'm working way too hard, man.
Well,
right.
It sounds like maybe you deserve a little bump in pay if you're working too hard, Pete.
You're goddamn right I did. You know what I told my boss today? I was like, man, all this quarantine shit going on, all these people that are getting fired and calling out and not working, and I'm the fucking sucker motherfucker who's still working. I feel like an idiot, dude. I feel like a sucker. But am I a sucker or am I just a hardworking American? I don't even know anymore. But I bring this up to my boss, and I'm like, dude, I need help, and I got my other coworker who's working remotely from Kentucky, as I told you, and he's been working there for a while, and I'm like, what the fuck, boss? I mean, we had a meeting where we were talking about our projects, and none of his projects even came up because he's working remotely. All we talked about was my shit the whole fucking time, and I texted my boss. I was like, what the fuck? The whole meeting we're talking about my projects the whole time, and we didn't talk about this kid at all. I was like, I need some help on site, boss. What are we doing about this? And this is what she says. She goes, don't worry about it. I'm keeping him busy. And then she goes, can you get me some more gummies? And I was like, really? That's that's how you're gonna fucking respond to my fucking question? Like, no, you're not getting any fucking gummies. Go fuck yourself. You can fucking hire someone else to fucking come help me out, and then I'll get you some gummies. Until then, you can fucking suck my dick.
Just get her the gummies, dude.
Fuck that, Mike.
No, she needs them, dude. It's a matter of, you making a huge difference in her life, and that will help her to fucking recognize. So don't worry, dude. You're doing the right thing.
Well, she ain't listening. She ain't listening to what the fuck I'm saying.
When you're reactionary, it's never good. So, you know what? If you be cool, then it's always going to turn out better, dude.
Dude, I told her that I need some help, on site. I can't just have someone working remotely from Kentucky fucking trying to help me because it's not doing anything for me. And she goes, "Oh, don't worry. I'm keeping him busy. Give me some gummies." It's like, how about you address my concern? Like, I need some help here.
Oh, well, if you're telling her...
Or are you just going to fucking ask me for gummies?
No, if you need help, dude, you need help. I hear you. I mean, you need to reiterate that. I mean, that maybe you weren't clear enough. Take her a bag of gummies and say, maybe I wasn't clear enough yesterday. I need some motherfucking help.
Bitch, you can read that text again and you can get me some help.
Yeah, but take her the fucking gummies, dude. It's not gonna benefit you if she's not getting cannabis.
She don't need cannabis, bro.
Of course she does.
I'm the one who needs the fucking cannabis. That's who needs it. I'm in all these fucking Zoom meetings every day.
Everyone needs it.
And everyone's happy and smiling because they get to all work from home. And I'm the fucking sucker who's the one person in the fucking Zoom meeting. I'm the one motherfucker that's on site who's like pissed off. And everyone else is happy. Like, isn't this great? We all get to work from home. And I want to fucking choke all of them. Fuck them. They're not getting any of my gummies. Help me out, and then I'll give you some of my gummies, assholes. I'm the one fucking risking my fucking neck. All right? And I'm sick of this shit. My boss is like, "Oh my God, guess what? I'm gonna start coming on site on June 2 days a week." I'm like, good for you. Aren't you a fucking hero? I've been coming in this whole fucking time. Stop patting yourself on the back, assholes.
Where is that,
you know
Craig?
What I'm saying?
Is that Minneapolis? Denver. Okay, I see it in there, Denver. Look, Pete, again, you are the hero. You know that you're the hero. You know that you're essential. Okay? So just, again, assert yourself, not by being a dick, but by saying, maybe you didn't hear me the first time. Here's your fucking gummies. Maybe you didn't hear me the first time. I need some motherfucking help. Get me some motherfucking help and do it now, or I'm going to get so stressed out, I'm going to have to take another break. You don't want that, do you? Come on, Pete. Just be cool, man.
I'm done being cool, Mike. I've been cool for a long time.
No. Look, what? Why
and
would you want to be cool?
Hey, look, bro,
anything but cool?
I don't even need it because the more that they're going to try to help me, the worse off I'll probably be. Because guess what? I'm going to have to train some motherfuckers. And that's what's going to stress me out even more.
Just a minute ago, you're whining because you don't have somebody. Now you're whining because they're going to give you somebody? Come on, Pete.
I'll ride it solo. Fuck it.
Well, then, get your boss the fucking gummies. Because that's going to make a difference in your world.
No.
Yes.
I doubt it.
Take my word for it.
When you want to listen to me, then you'll get your gummies. Until then, go fuck yourself. People are rioting in Denver now? Oh no, this is Minneapolis though.
No, that's Denver. Craig just has Minneapolis underneath there for whatever. That's an accident. Hey Craig, can you take Minneapolis off of there? Because it says Minneapolis, so. Okay.
Why are people in Denver so mad? I thought Denver was chill, bro. They were like the first to legalize. You guys should be like the
What is your deal with not recognizing why people are so mad?
Well, why is it Denver? Where's everyone in New York? Where's the outrage in New York?
The police brutality is nationwide. It happens everywhere. This isn't like only a Minneapolis thing.
Well, I'm just surprised Denver was like the second city to start rioting. I figured it would be, somewhere else where
Denver's not the
there's a little
second
more
city.
racial
They
tension.
were showing Los Angeles last night. There's gonna be protests everywhere. I have a video showing that there's protests going on everywhere across nationwide, Pete. So and right now you can count on the fact that they are going to grow over this weekend because the stupid motherfucking cops are not doing the right thing. They're rallying around a piece of shit instead of fucking doing the right thing and fucking sending him to jail. So
Yes, and then they'll blame all these protests on the second wave that's coming our way, hot and fresh.
right, I'm sure they're going to go ahead and blame the protest on an increase in COVID-19 fucking whatever cases.
Dude, I saw a fucking story where there was like a crew. This was on MSN actually. The scum of the scum. But they had a story where
they're all
there
the
was
same, Pete. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, MSN's the fucking worst of them all. But they had a story about a cruise line that got like where the virus spread like crazy, and only 80% of the people that were infected were symptomatic, which was crazy.
Yeah.
80%.
Well, again, this is only 8. You said only 8%?
80.
8. Okay, so 80%. You don't say only 80%. You say 80% of the people were symptomatic. Is that what you're saying?
No, 80 I didn't say only 80. 80. I said 80% of the people were asymptomatic that were infected.
Well, there you go. So that means they didn't have any symptoms at all, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and this is what I'm
But
saying.
they had antibodies.
And this is what I'm saying. They're saying that I've been reading that people are saying that if you had the SARS-2, that you have antibodies that are fighting this thing. If you have the influenza, you have antibodies. But look, this is we're being lied to about this COVID-19. I'm not saying it's not dangerous. I'm not saying it doesn't kill people. What I'm saying is they're hyping the fear way, way overblown. So.
Oh my goodness, are they?
Yeah.
Absolutely they are. Because a lot of these websites, it's like that's how they get people to click on their fucking articles and pay attention to their stupid websites. It's
right.
The
news,
having the biggest fear headline. My God, click on my article.
Right. That's why the news has to have the latest death total, so that you have to know that you have to tune in every few hours to check to see what the latest death totals are. Oh my God, Pete! You see, yesterday when they hit 100,000 dead in the United States, I expected.
Oh my God.
I expected it to be like the millionth customer at a grocery store, where ticker tape starts to fall down and confetti and balloons and shit. It's like the 100,000th person, woo! Because it just like they've been leading up to that shit for like 2 weeks. It's disgusting, man. I'm just so disgusted by this fucking garbage.
Yeah, dude. Bullshit. You ain't gotta worry about it, bro. We're all gonna be fine.
Well, we're gonna get through it. Like I said, we're gonna get through it. It's not a matter of whether or not it's happening. This shit goes on constantly. Constantly, there's this. Everything's gonna kill us. The murder hornets are coming for your children. I mean, they haven't even found a motherfucking murder hornet in 2020 in the United States. But the murder hornets are coming, everyone. Fuck. I mean, this is what they do. And any opportunity to over fucking hype the fear, ratchet it up as high as possible, is never missed. So it just couldn't be more disgusting, Pete. And from day one, since way before this shit ever started, I've been like, don't buy into the fear. Don't buy into the fear. Don't buy into the fear.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little freaked out at first, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I was a little, more safe than sorry. But, I mean, the more data that comes out, this doesn't seem, well, it seems like it's slightly more contagious than the flu, but it's not like it's fucking Ebola or anything.
That's a good one, Craig. I like that one. That one's going to get hot right there. The Ebola, oh yeah, man, that's some scary shit right there. I mean, bleeding from every orifice is is not the way I want to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we really need to be worried about. But a super airborne Ebola, that would suck.
Ebola would suck bad.
I don't think we're there yet. I think we got a while before we get that.
Yeah, not yet.
Finally got my fucking Mox News stickers, Craig, you fucking son of a bitch.
Oh, right on.
Sending me those.
Cool. Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah, they're pretty quality.
Yeah. We got to get some that say My Cock 2020.
You do. All I got is postcards. You got My Cock postcards. Have some stickers.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll put the name on the ballot.
T-shirts.
I'm all about my cock. I'm all about a strong leader.
I know you are.
I'm all about strong leaders who are stiff and firm and don't budge on their positions. That's why you vote for my cock, people.
Pete, I got to take a break, bro.
Right. I got nothing else to say, so I'll let you go.
All right, it's good to hear from you, and I will talk to you soon, I hope. And I hope you have a great weekend if I don't talk to you before then.
Right on. Peace out, Gentiles. Praise Allah.
See ya. And if Pete's still listening, give your boss some gummies. Give your boss gummies. Your boss is like, oh, Pete, you're saving my life. The last thing you want is not to be saving your boss's life if you have that option. Unless, of course, it's horrible, and then you want to fucking kill her. Just let her die. I am going to play a video for you. I have so many videos. Protest around the world. Where's that one? Right there. Nationwide protest. I will be right back. It's a short video. I just want you to see that there are protests going on everywhere. And we'll be right back with the live stuff in 2 minutes.
The protests that we have seen in Minneapolis Tuesday night, Wednesday night, tonight, calling for justice for George Floyd, have been spread out now beyond Minnesota and across the country. Last night, while protesters in Minneapolis and St. Paul were demonstrating through the night, sometimes fighting tear gas and rubber bullets in clashes with the police, you should know that protesters in California also marched in downtown Los Angeles. They blocked the 101 freeway, completely shutting down traffic at one point by forming a human chain. Protesters eventually clashed with police there, too. Some protesters shattered the windows of a California Highway Patrol vehicle. One protester sitting on top of a California Highway Patrol vehicle was injured, getting knocked off that car as it sped away. In Memphis, Tennessee, a group of more than 70 people marched down Union Avenue in Midtown Memphis last night, eventually linking arms and blocking that avenue as well. They were out there for 4 hours. Memphis police made 5 arrests last night. In Michigan, people gathered at the Capitol building in Lansing to listen to speeches, to offer prayers for the family of George Floyd. And today there has been more. Today in New York City, protesters in Union Square in Manhattan chanted, I can't breathe and we need justice, as they stood face-to-face with NYPD officers. So far, more than 24 people have been arrested in New York. There are also huge demonstrations in Chicago today. Dozens of people marching down Halsted Street in Chicago's South Side, carrying signs that said, "No lives matter until Black lives matter." And "We demand police accountability." In Alabama, a group gathered today at a park in downtown Birmingham to sing and mourn and protest together. Protesters in Denver, Colorado, gathered at the state capitol and marched downtown demanding justice for George Floyd. Breonna Taylor, who was shot to death by police on March 13th in her own home in Kentucky. Sean Reed, who was shot and killed by an officer in Indianapolis on May 7th. These protests are spreading to every corner of the country, but they began this week in Minneapolis, and they continue in Minneapolis tonight, and we're going to get more reporting from the heart of that great city as we head into nightfall tonight. Just ahead. Stay with us.
All right, so it looks like Denver's getting kind of hot over here, people. I thought I saw tear gas earlier, so we're going to keep an eye on Denver for the moment. And I think Columbus is looking a little heated there, too. If you want to call... What? All right. If you want to call, the number is 805-669-6397. We're taking calls. We want to talk. We want to talk about what you feel justice for George Floyd would be. What really needs to happen across the country. There needs to be a policing of the police, you know, and if there's anybody out there that somehow feels like Mr. Floyd's death is justified, you know, you probably don't want to call because that's stupid. Video was interrupted. What the fuck is that shit? All right. I gotta drink some water. Okay, so let's see. I gotta drink some water. Oh, this is about ready. I have a lovely dab to share with you guys right there. Woo! I need a drink of water. All right, so again, this is a call-in show. The number is 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. That's 805 Mox News. And again, the reason that we do the call-in show is because YouTube has become such out of control censors that we want you to be able to have your voice because, you know, we heard from Daniel last night where Daniel was saying that his comments are being censored off of Mox News YouTube page. I had no idea that his comments were being censored off of Mox News YouTube page. But apparently they are because YouTube seems to think that that's the way it should be, I guess. Lovely water. Lovely bong hit. I hope you all are doing well. I really do. I am very concerned for the lot of you at this time. There's too much bullshit happening in the world. This this shit with the this man being killed, George Floyd being killed, is just out of control. It just doesn't pass the smell test, right? When cops want to kill somebody, they don't do it right there in front of all the cameras, right? They put him in the car and they take him around the corner and they fucking kill him. They put him in the fucking whatever, the paddy wagon, and they give him the rough ride like they did to Freddie Gray. What's up, caller? Hey, how's it going?
Going good, man. Yeah, just another day in Wonderland. I support all those people. I'm watching your screen this time while I'm talking to you. So, yeah, I support all those people in the streets that are trying to do the right thing. And God damn the fucking police, too, on top of that shit. The police should be out there.
Damn the pusher man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, you know, that's a newsworthy item. I mean, it's a murder on television by cop. I mean, that's what it is. It's nothing but. So, yeah, they should be out in the fucking streets because we're tired of this shit.
Yeah, I mean, there's only, like I said, there's only so much people can take, and pushback, blowback is a real thing. So you just push the people into a corner, you know, and it's like this fucking, you know, there's this, like, it's like it being in some kind of a trash compactor, you know, you just keep getting all this fucking anger and rage and fucking just unbelievable, you know, how can the world be this way shit, and just keeps compacting and compacting, compacting until it's just gonna fucking blow up. You know, and nothing ever gets done about it. I mean, this shit happens again and again. You know, Ferguson and L.A. and I mean Rodney King. You know, all this shit, it happens again and again and again, and nothing ever changes. You know, why isn't somebody talking about the changes? You know, fucking Tucker Carlson's on the goddamn television, and he's equating every motherfucking protester with these fucking rioters that are stealing everything that's not bolted down, you know, which is a tiny little percentage of the fucking protesters. And why?
Yeah.
Because he loves the police state. But you know what else? Every other fucking network is doing it too. They're just not doing it as blatantly as he is. You know, they're acting like the protesters have a right, but they immediately begin their story with the looting and the burning and the pillaging, you know, and you know, so we can set up things ahead of time in your mind, so we can put your mind in the right frame, so you can understand who these protesters are. And it's not just, again, it's not just Fox News, it's not just fucking CNN. I watch MSNBC do it all day long. Start off with the fucking rioters, the people that are burning shit, and then we move on to the protesters as if they're the same people.
Hey, well, I heard you talking to Pete, and you said you saw something today about black physiology being more susceptible to chokeholds and diabetes and stroke and COVID-19. You actually saw that today?
I thought I saw something. I don't know. Were you the one that told me something? Did you say something yesterday or the day before about the physiology?
I told you that last night.
Yeah, maybe it was you that told me about the physiology. I mean, but I added all the other stuff.
Okay, well, it's all true. They are more susceptible to COVID-19 because of a vitamin D deficiency or something related to melatonin in the skin. I don't know. They are more susceptible to...
Which, again, makes it look like a designer fucking virus. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
I would. Because if you were designing a virus, that is one of the options that you would have, that you would most likely click the box for.
But it's true that I think there's a lot of precedent for my comment last night that that's why they eliminated the chokehold, is because too many black people getting arrested were choked out, and too many casualties, and they've known that for a decade. So it's a better someone more motivated than me, a better researcher than me, could fucking just dig back through the archives or Google it or something, and they would find out that that's all completely true. That you know, and these cops, they can barely put their fucking holsters on right and turn their radios on. We're going to educate those dumb motherfuckers on black physiology and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, and we're going to lecture them on the, you know, their job. It's like, you know, well, I am the law, motherfucker. So you saw that. And today I looked back over the Minneapolis video. One fucking retard autistic and one out of control white dumbed down stupid motherfucker murderer And those are the only two faces I caught. I didn't catch the faces of the other two cops, but two really stupid.
Yeah, I only saw two people also in the videos that I keep seeing. I mean, I see. It looks like one cop pulled the one cop that looked like I don't want to say decent human being, but he looked like he wasn't trying to give the guy a hard time or rough him up or anything. I saw the video of him. He looked like he might have been Middle Eastern descent or something.
Yeah, well,
he pulled him out of the car and put him up against the wall, and then I'm not sure what happened after they put him up against the wall.
Apparently, if all four of them got fired, the people who have a little bit more information than you and me must think all four of them are to some degree culpable. And I would go that far too, without actually seeing what the other two did. I know what they didn't do. They didn't come to that man's medical life-saving aid.
No. What they did do was they protected everyone from coming to his aid.
Well, no, none of those people ever fucking even got close.
You don't. There's four fucking heavily armed fucking adrenaline junkie cops.
Doesn't fucking matter if you had a man there who was willing to get close and say, "Hey, motherfucker, get off his fucking neck."
I'm pretty sure that lots of people were saying that, dude.
No, you didn't have anybody. You say I caught some of the talk, and it was. He says he can't breathe. Get off him. Get off him. That's not enough. 10 minutes, and they couldn't get a cop off a black man's neck. It only takes a couple minutes to realize what's going on and what.
I hear you. All they would have had to do was pitch their fucking phone, stop filming and throw their fucking phone at the guy's face, and he would have got off of him. I hear you. Okay?
Exactly.
You don't have to fucking run over there and tackle him. Just take your fucking phone and throw it in his goddamn face. Aim for his motherfucking mouth. Break out his fucking teeth. Bust his lip. He'll immediately, change all his rage towards you.
Right. My grandma can run faster than most cops. You kick the guy in the head and then you take off. It takes 2 seconds maximum. Boom, gone.
Right, but you had to get past the cops to kick him in the head. I agree. That's exactly what I think should happen, in fact, to that cop, is that he should be kicked in the mouth, his motherfucking front teeth should be busted out, and he should be released into the general population at Rock Island in Illinois. And he's going to make a lot of motherfucking friends without those front teeth, let me tell you.
Humans with no humanity. What am I looking at here? Denver, and that's two live streams from Denver, yeah? That's the same thing. They're both from a helicopter.
Yeah, I know. I'm not in control of that.
Oh, that's cool. No, at least you got some fucking live streams. But, it looks like Denver's standing up, too. Good for them, And the cops,
it's not just Denver. I showed a video. There's fucking demonstrations going on everywhere, and they're going to grow.
Good.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. And that's why I keep saying support the protesters, because you can see, if you have eyes and you are looking, that they are standing up against an ultra-violent, heavily armed police state and demanding that those fucking piece of shit pigs change. Okay? And that takes a lot of guts. So give the motherfucking protesters their due in this country.
I do. I applaud them.
Don't buy into this fucking garbage with the goddamn mainstream media, where again they set up every one of these fucking clips beginning with looting and fucking burning and rioting. Okay, the protesters I see moms with their children. I see people, again, putting their lives on the line to an ultra-violent police state. This fucking just adrenaline junkies. And they got their fucking guns out and shit. They're shooting rubber bullets. Oh, I'm sorry. Happy rubber bullets,
Yeah. I haven't watched any TV at all today, except I did catch a couple of minutes of Trump.
Hey, Craig, can you find another feed? These are the same feed. Go ahead.
Trump chomped down on the Twitter and all that other stuff today. Apparently, he was quoting already existing FCC regulation that gives him jurisdiction over that, or some type of say. But you're completely right. I wrote a song one time. It goes, you passed the test. It was the greatest treason to do the right thing for the wrong reason. And that's exactly, you can fucking block everybody else's Facebook or Twitter post or YouTube channel.
Yeah.
As soon as Donald Trump gets a little strike or somebody says, no, Mr. Trump, it's like he jumps on the whole thing.
I gotta sign an executive order immediately. Yeah, fuck you, Donald Trump, you fucking giant, thin-skinned, fucking, born with a gold spoon in your mouth, bitch boy cunt. Fuck you straight to hell. Oh, but you can't say anything about Israel or your name goes on the motherfucking list. Don't forget it.
Yeah, I mean, he did the right thing for the wrong reason, but never let a good crisis go to waste. I mean, obviously, in a way, it's a medium-sized blow against the deep state, which has their fingers into Twitter, into YouTube, into Facebook, and other social media. But we'll see what happens. It could be a completely powerless gesture. We'll see how much teeth it has.
It never makes any difference. Oh, you mean Trump and Twitter? Oh, yeah, he doesn't give a shit about Twitter censoring people. He doesn't give a shit. They could take down anybody they want tomorrow, and unless it's somehow one of his giant supporters, he's not going to say a fucking word.
But most presidential orders, number one, don't have any teeth. They get challenged in court.
And even when they were talking about it, when Trump was talking about it, when his press secretary was talking about, they're talking about conservatives being censored by social media. Fuck you. Okay?
Well,
I don't know if this is some kind of an election ploy where it's like, oh, look, the victims, the conservatives are the victims again. Why doesn't anyone ever think of the Christians? Fuck you. Go ahead.
That's the dialectic. The right-left paradigm, the dialectic. It's like those guys and us guys. But the truth is, I mean, the actual truth as I see it, and this is subjective, not objective, is that most of the intellectual discourse does come out of the right. So you can call that conservative. And most of the Looney Tunes bullshit, orange-haired, I'm a chartreuse penguin, I choose my own sexuality bullshit is coming out of the left. Now,
hey, look it, man. You're top of the food chain. You can choose whatever you want. That's the point of being top of the food chain and having a big brain and being able to decide, you know what? I like smoking marijuana. Fuck you and fuck your fucking laws.
Well, there's another truth besides, that you get more actual sane conversation coming out of the right, is that most people are neither right nor left.
Yeah, I think that those are stupid things. I keep saying it again and again. They don't fit people. It's just
I don't fit any category. I'm conservative on some things and very liberal on other things, and quite out of the ballpark on a small number of things. Atlantis, aliens, archons, stuff that doesn't really matter. But I mean, we're right now we're talking about politics, and none of that stuff really matters. But I don't buy into the left-right paradigm. You don't buy into the left-right paradigm, and I've never seen a presidential order where they cited an FCC regulation or a regulation to it. I have no recollection of ever hearing a presidential decree, and then cite some law or something like that. But we'll see what happens. I don't think anything's going to change. I think Twitter's going to say, fuck you, Donald Trump, we got our fact checkers, and Mark Zuckerberg is going to say, fuck you, Donald Trump, we got our fact checkers, and then YouTube is going to, fuck you, Donald Trump, you don't own me, we do what we want, and nothing's going to happen, and nothing's going to change. think they're going to sign a personal fact checkers to Donald Trump's Twitter accounts in order to not piss him off anymore. But it's a non-issue, really. Nothing. I don't think anything's going to change. But I hope they get rid of the fact checkers. Every day I go onto Facebook, and you can go into your settings, and then you go into blocking, and then you type in fact checker in the blocking section, and all your fact checkers will pop up.
There you go.
You can block them one by one. But every day they add another one or two fact checkers. It's like an endless stream of robots that are constantly checking my fucking Facebook posts. We found something partially incorrect about your Facebook post. When you get a notice like that, you got a brand new fact checker robot, and you got to go back into your blocking and eliminate them. You got to block them every fucking day.
Wow.
So,
I never I mean, I get copyright issues, but I don't know if I have any issues like that with Facebook at all. I don't know. It's fucking, I hate it.
Well, if you're getting a notification, our fact checkers found out this is false information, or our fact checkers found out this is partially false information, that comes from a bot, which is an algorithm that just somebody programmed on Facebook. Now, I'm only talking about Facebook. You get strikes from YouTube or notifications from YouTube that I know nothing about, because I never get strikes or notifications from YouTube. One time I did, and I don't even know what it was about, and that was it. But you've gotten hundreds, and I've gotten one. So I don't know about YouTube, but I do know about Facebook, and I'm not on Twitter too often. So I used to. Twitter's the place to go when there's a revolution going on, but because the people are on the ground with their phones, are going, "Goddamn bomb blew off down the street, 52nd Street." Right now, boom, and then 1,000 people retweet it, and there's a bomb went off on 52nd Street. Twitter ran the Egyptian revolution. It was great. And then Facebook gained ascendancy in the social media thing. But, with this COVID-19 thing, anybody that sneezes outdoor without a mask is a terrorist, and they're going to get a strike on their social media account. It's like, because for some reason, remember you said something about equating a person to not wearing a mask to an active shooter?
Yeah, who was it that said that? It was.
I don't know. You said it. I didn't. I only.
It was. Who said that? Oh, damn! I'll look it up. Go ahead.
But that's just propaganda. And
it's programming. It's programming. It's like, this is the way we want you to think.
Yeah, but we've seen since the COVID-19 the rise of the Terminator Autobots on Twitter and Facebook. It's like you can't fucking even put in COVID-19 and just post that.
Yeah.
Or without getting a notification. You have posted something we have deemed to be dangerous. It's like one word, COVID-19. It's like, what the fuck? So Donald Trump is right. Maybe he's got some, what do they got? Interns. Maybe he's got some interns around him that are saying, this is way overdue, Mr. President. Maybe you should do something about it. And he decided, yeah, I'm the fucking king of the world. I'm going to do something about it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, there's more important issues than Donald Trump and his fucking Twitter account. You got hospitals overflowing with the COVID-19 patients in one of those South American countries. They're having a real rough time. Bolsonaro in Brazil is just saying, "C'est la vie, man. It's nothing we can do," and they're number 4 in the world, I think, for COVID-19 infections. And then you got us in the United States cooking the books on all the numbers so that anybody who gets run over by a train or gets in a car crash is automatically a COVID-19 victim. So, if if you don't know, your media is completely overtaken by the CIA, the deep state. You got some learning to do, because they've been, it's on full swing now, and this is the world we live in. I'd rather see the world as it really is than live in a daydream and pretend, I got rights given to me by the government, and the government's my friend, and there's no such thing as imperialism, and globalism is good, and the European Union was a good idea, and we're the freest country in the world, and those people over there don't matter. Terrorists, COVID-19, blah, blah, blah. Officials have come out today saying, they all say that with their official voice on, we have reports today about, when they get that doctors have, it goes back to that toothpaste commercial. 4 out of 5 dentists agree that you should inject fluoride directly into your nose if you really want to have a mouth free of cavities. It's all bullshit. The medical, the hospitals, the pharmaceutical companies. I did find out a little tidbit. Fauci's wife, there's this channel, I think it's called Amazing Polly. She's a great, great researcher. It's a YouTube channel. People probably know her, the Amazing Polly. And she does some awesome research. She just goes in and does stuff I never even thought about doing. But she found out Fauci's wife runs the Division for Human Testing associated with the National Institute of Health. And Bill Gates funds it. So, that might not sound like, well, what the fuck does that mean, Mike? It might not sound
Fauci's wife works for Bill Gates, is that what you said?
Yeah, she's the head of the Human Testing Department. That is pharmaceutical testing on humans, which is funded by Bill Gates.
Wow.
Yeah, it might sound worse than it is, but it's usually not worse than it is.
Well, it's amazing that, that's a pretty, coincidence? I don't think so,
Right, yeah. So, just go to the YouTube channel, Amazing Polly, and it was one of her posts today. And she does just in-depth stuff, and she's really rational and sane, and she never mentions the Illuminati or the Anunnaki, so she's pretty good. But I was surprised to learn that. I had an in-depth conversation with my buddy from Utah, and this morning, and we both kind of agreed, we're in uncharted waters, and we really need to keep sane, and no matter how many good things happen as far as killing the empire and killing the police state and killing the deep state, no matter how much good shit happens.
Craig, those are the same feet again. Go ahead. How much good shit happens?
We're so far behind, it would take, and if you study systems theory, which is like, I don't want to explain systems theory to anybody, but you realize, man, it's going to take us a century to get out of these pending dark ages. We're actually kind of entering a brand new dark age.
Thank you.
But we got nuclear bombs and cell phones and instant media, but it's actually a dark age because the consciousness is low. So anybody who's trying to put the pieces together, like Amazing Polly and all the other great researchers, and trying to inform the public, my hat goes off to them and to the protesters too, because there's a need for everybody in this war, and it's a war that's going to be going on for the people of planet Earth long after you and I are dead, Mike. But we can make our mark. We can make a contribution. We can plant trees that we'll never be able to sit under, but maybe someday some highly evolved 12-year-old will be able to sit under a tree that we helped plant, and he'll be free, and he'll be educated, and he won't have to fight the Skynet, you know, the Terminators and the pharmaceutical industrial complex, which is because I have this sneaking feeling they're going to release another virus in a couple months. I hope they don't, but that's a pretty. If you study systems theory, they've gotten away with it so far.
Well, they've definitely been setting us up for it.
Yeah, yeah. All you need is to analyze the field. You know, who are all the players? What's your enemy's most logical move? And that's their most logical move, to continue the crackdown and continue the erosion of our rights. But, yeah, I mean, what am I looking at? Yeah, I see fires out there. What, you got two different ones up there?
I don't see any fires. Do you see fires? I don't see fires.
Yeah, see that in Denver?
Oh, I see. No, I don't see a fire.
Oh, that must be kind of red light or something.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know what it's, okay. But, yeah, I hope they don't burn shit down. It looks all peaceful and pretty cool. And I wish I was there, man.
It's like I said, it's a very small percentage of the fucking protesters that actually would ever want to steal anything from anyone. You know, it's a certain mindset of people that find that acceptable to do in their life, and that's a small percentage.
I did see that supposed cop walking away this afternoon on the video where he had a bunch of people kind of following him.
What happened?
Did you see that?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
An agent provocateur was caught on film by multiple people. He had a mask on and he looked like a cop, and people were saying, I smell bacon, and he quickly escaped the area in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, those guys get their hands on a cop, man, like that, you know, they'll rip them apart.
Yeah.
Especially in this frame of mind.
Yeah, he walked away quick, so I think he was a cop, but that's pretty cool that they can recognize that shit, you know, in a crowd, you know.
They're pretty darn good at it. I've seen them do it before multiple times, and I always find it impressive.
Yeah, because we don't, you know, Israel does that a lot, where they'll send in agents, you know, into Palestinian groups, even in America.
Yeah.
They'll send in agents. I mean, Harvey, what was his name? The rapist, Harvey Weinstein. He hired Black Cube, which is an ex-Mossad, filled with ex-Mossad. It's like the Israeli, Blackwater. Black Cube was the Israeli Blackwater. And Harvey Weinstein hired those guys to fuck with Rose McGowan.
You know, and when those guys go to fuck with somebody, they're not messing around. So
yeah, and they're in a foreign fucking country too. They're in America.
Yeah.
So you know, agent provocateurs happen. It's not a conspiracy. Cops will do it to infiltrate gangs. The FBI does it all the fucking time to infiltrate your grandma's knitting circle, you know?
Yeah.
Check for explosives. Yeah, somebody's writing anthrax letters, you know, in 911. Yeah, it's not a game, man. If we ever get a viable movement, look what they did to Occupy Wall Street. They infiltrated Occupy Wall Street, but all they had to do was take a bunch of bums and beggars and...
Hey, Craig, can you find a video of this fire in Minneapolis? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Occupy Wall Street went down? Oh, yeah. They took and they rounded up a bunch of homeless people and drug addicts and threw them into the camps.
Yeah, and, you know, I saw it for real at Occupy LA. It's like half the people were homeless people. And it was a joke. It was a circus. And, man, I would bring... I'm a great cook, and I would bring about, 10, 15, maybe 20 gallons of hot soup down to Occupy LA. By the time I parked my car, it was all gone. Not a drop left for me, you know. So it was, they had the bums and the drug addicts out, and I told you about the 18,000 square foot underground building there that they offered us. But the days of Occupy Wall Street are over. I would like to see them come back, and this is a very good thing that's happening with the Black Lives Matter and I'm looking at the crowd on your live streams, and most of the people are white, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Well, I would say it's at least 50%, it looks like to me.
Yeah, well, we're all in this together, and we kind of know it now. There's, the black people know that the government can't divide them from the white people, and the white people know that black people are, and we're all in it. They're working together. Doesn't matter if you're Chinese or Mexican or gay or you're a dwarf or you're Andre the Giant. Doesn't fucking matter. It's it's the government and the police, not the people. So look at that. They got a fucking SWAT team coming down the street. Holy shit. This is live, huh?
Yeah.
So, well, they ain't gonna do shit. They're just gonna prance around with their fucking riot gear and form a line and pretend they're being threatened. Nobody's threatening anybody. They're just making a stink. They should be perfectly legal. They should. The police should loan people their bullhorns.
You know what? They gotta. The police have to fucking show some respect. That's the problem. The police don't have any respect for the public, and if they did, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. But if they had respect for the public, they would understand, and they wouldn't be shooting them with fucking rubber bullets and flashbang grenades and shit. Because that's not how you're going to calm down an angry situation.
Well, I was listening, I think before Pete called, or maybe you told Pete that, you were saying that if we put tear gas out in Iraq or Afghanistan, it would be considered a war crime. There's actually a treaty existing. I don't know the name of it. It might be the Chemical Weapons Treaty or something like that. But the caveat in that treaty is that it's legal to use certain types of gases, CS and CR, and the CR is a little bit worse than the CS, I think, on the public in your own country.
In your own country, there you go.
Yeah, but not in a war situation. You can't use it on somebody else's population. So, like when the Egyptian revolution was going on, and also in Istanbul, the Gezi revolution, they used so much tear gas that you couldn't see a 10-story building. You couldn't see the 10-story buildings. The entire atmosphere was covered in tear gas, and all of the apartment buildings were hidden and swamped in tear gas. And within a week, the Egyptian government in 2011, I think it was when the revolution was going on, the Egyptian government had to order more tear gas from, I think it was Philadelphia, Connecticut, someplace back here in the States.
Yeah.
Because they ran out of tear gas.
Yeah, I remember that.
So,
and then they made a big deal about all the tear gas canisters having made in the USA on them and stuff.
Yeah, in Palestine they make flower planters out of all the tear gas canisters. They put a little dirt in it and plant a flower. Try to turn something ugly into something beautiful. If I was in a war zone, I'd be saving the tear gas canisters. I'd be making. How you got Tibetan flags hanging? A wind. People, I'd be hanging a string of tear gas canisters on my front porch. It's like I'd be writing Sanskrit symbols on them.